start off as usual online, and then opportunity for JVs as well.
How you doing? Okay.
Firstly, everyone, you're very welcome to the new season. Thank you very much for your time. And it doesn't seem like much of a close season, but great to see you again. Obviously, Simon's announcement yesterday regarding the interim head coach. Additionally, the Emerging Ireland squad has been announced. You probably should all have it at this point. And just for the plans for the next couple of weeks, we'll have a media session next Wednesday. It'll all be done virtually, just given that there's a lot going on, URC and whatnot. So just keep an eye on your emails and your WhatsApps. And we will get started. So, BBC, if you're happy, Kevin, if you want to kick off.
Simon, let's talk with you first. The interim head coach role, of course, kept secret from IrishRugby, but what does it mean?
Yeah, it means a huge amount. It's a real honour, and kind of. I know it's a bit down the line. There's plenty of rugby to be played and prepared for between now and the Six Nations. But yeah, it's something that I'm really thrilled about, excited about. But obviously focusing on what the here and the now, and probably look to start to putting things into place and plan for the Six Nations after the November internationals.
Does that change your role and your approach during the autumn with the senior team?
No, it doesn't. Obviously, the continuation of Faz through to the end of the November series means that nothing will change from that perspective. I guess the emerging tour allows us to go away and work slightly differently without Faz with us. So that gives us as a coaching group the opportunity to work towards what might be happening more in the Six Nations. But certainly nothing would change in November. And just really excited about the next few weeks, but also what's coming up in the new year.
That emerging tour, a couple of years ago, a lot of fresh faces went there, and now guys who are household names like Joe McCarthy. How useful an exercise is it?
Sorry, say that again?
How useful an exercise was that 2 years ago?
It was invaluable. I think we're always in contact with the provinces around what's coming through, the depth of different positions in Irish rugby, but I think to get to know the players, get to work with them up close and personal was a real valuable exercise in 2022, and that's exactly what we hope this trip to be as well. It's a short period, and it'll be a challenge for them and for us as coaches, but one that we're really excited about. And if we can produce this type of players that we got last time, then we'll be more than happy.
Zach Ward is a player who kind of has been kicking around for a lot of years, but he made a big impact in sevens. How interesting is it to bring him?
I think he's a really nice story. I mean, he's played incredibly well. You say in the sevens circuit, culminating in the Olympics, and now transitioned back into 15s. He's worked with Ulster across the pre-season since he's come back from the sevens, and he's a really exciting prospect, and I think that's an important, pathway for players. In that sevens environment, we want to make sure that there's a way of them getting back into 15s, and players like Zach and other players potentially in the future that can go back, play sevens, but come back into 15s, and he's really exciting and one that we're looking forward to working with.
Sweet for Ireland, Alan paid the bills, but does it hurt the provinces, the likes of maybe Ulster and Connacht?
I think there's been ongoing conversations for a long time around this tour, and I know the last tour was probably a little bit less preparation time, and the provinces have been excellent. I've got to say, David and Faz and myself have all been in constant contact with the provinces, the head coaches around individual players. We're trying not to compromise their preparation as much as we can, and we know that there's no ideal time for this type of tour, but based on what happened last time and how we were able to get to work with those players, and a lot of those players, 6 of them progressed to senior international rugby over the course of that couple of years. Since then I think we all believe it's a really important thing and a great exercise that at times might feel like it's compromising a little bit, but I think in the long run it's been really valuable.
Murray Beale.
On that, is there any element of haggling with the provinces? Is there coaches that say, I need this guy for this period, and then you make your case?
Yeah, there's constant conversations around that, and I think that's part of the kind of process of trying to get the best players available to us to go and work with us in South Africa. But also we know that they can't just pluck players out of thin air, and if they've got an injury in a certain position, then we clearly will have to have conversations around those players and have to make some compromises around who we can select. Like I say, on the whole, it's been excellent. There's been two-way communication and probably a far better way of doing it this time, because we've given the provinces far more notification around the trip to South Africa. I'm not saying it's a perfect scenario at all, but I think hopefully come the end of it, both sides win, and most importantly, we get the players for a period, and they get to understand what we're about as a setup, an environment, and the challenges of international rugby, being away together, etc. So I think from that perspective, hopefully it can be a win-win.
It wasn't a case where you looked for a player and you were refused at any stage, was it? It was just negotiated and that was it?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, complete. I think pretty transparent around everything that we've done with the provinces, and hopefully, they'll feel the same way.
Yeah, just on Cormac and Chip and Sam, who were on the tour of South Africa, and Cormac in particular probably was a starter for us by the end of last season. Why was it important to have those guys back in this environment?
I think part of it with Izzy was, he is someone that, like you say, had a good bit of game time at the end of last season with Ulster, but we still want to kind of grow his experience and grow the depth, potentially more at lock than at six, but we know he can play both positions. We want him to step up and lead in terms of calling at line-out time and leadership around the field. So I think for him it was it's a continuation of his sort of development and progression. I'm not saying that he wouldn't get game time with Ulster. Obviously he would do, but in particular for him to be working with Paulie again, with Foggs, and the work that he'll be doing with Goody in his attack. I think it's a good fit for us in terms of his progression and his development. With Sam, again, he would get time with Leinster, no doubt, over the next few weeks. But again, he wasn't given the opportunity to lead the week in South Africa because he didn't get game time, and we want to see him under a bit of pressure and challenge him to see how he can lead a week as a number 10, and the kind of the challenge of playing URC are great, but I think playing away from home international rugby, playing in a different group, playing in a green jersey and leading that, he hasn't done that since the 20s, and I think that's again another way of building his development and progress, and he's like Izzy, done really well on tour, but didn't get the opportunity to play, and I think that's the most important thing for us.
If anyone in this, is there scope for anyone in this squad to use this as a platform to be capped in a very busy November schedule?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's exactly what we want, Rory. We know that there's a kind of medium to longer term sort of outlook on this tour, but certainly in the short term, we need to build depth in every position, and I'd say there's there's no closed book. We need to make sure that we've got the best players available to us in November. Subsequently, the best players available to us in the Six Nations. There's also an A fixture in the Six Nations. Then there's a summer tour. There's a Lions tour. Who knows? Like, genuinely, it's. I think it's a great challenge for these players, but an opportunity for us and them to see who can step up and make it difficult for us not to pick them in the November or the Six Nations.